Aaron, thank you again for joining us today. We've really been looking forward to this interview. And I understand that you studied hard in preparation for this guest hosting gig on Jeopardy. What specifically did you do to get ready? And was it similar at all to getting prepared for an NFL game?
Well, I think there is some similarities for sure. To be able to execute as the host takes a lot of focus because you are in control of the game. You handle the contestants, going to clues. You throw to break. You come out of break. You do interviews. You respond to interview answers. You have to throw in some anecdotes every now and then. I mean, that what Alex was so great at. You have to be able to read and enunciate and know when the pauses are to make the clue flow the right way. So that's what I watched. I went back and watched a number of episodes. Netflix had some archived from the last couple of years. So I went back and watched those a number of times, not as a fan now, but as the host, and wrote down a ton of notes on what Alex would do. His affirmatives, how many different ways he can say that was a correct answer. I think that's what's important, to not have to like say yes the entire time or correct or good. You're really trying to mix those answers up. How he threw it to the first break, how he came out of the first break, what kind of interview style that he used, how he threw it back to the board, how he went back to the second break, coming out of the second break to Daily Double, just little things that he would say that I really feel like made the game more relatable, whether it was talking about score updates in between rounds or talking about the possibility of a third place finisher getting enough money to be able to come to first place going in double jeopardy, whatever it might be. There's little things you can add to the game that Alex did so easily in his 35 years that I just wanted to kind of try and pick up and kind of lock into my muscle memory for my time.
Aaron, I understand there's something that happens in the show tonight that could turn into a viral moment. Can you give us a little bit of a hint on that?
Well, I can tell you that the returning champion decided to not answer the question. He went a little rogue and decided to make a little joke at the Packers' expense, and it's related to what happened in our last game of the season this year, the NFC Championship. So it made for a great moment, really, and I think that's the beauty of the show is you just never know what's going to happen. You never know what the interview responses are going to be, or you have a James Holzhauer who goes on this incredible run and doing these crazy bids or bets every time to get to like a certain date that was meaningful to him or his wife or his family or history. That's kind of one of those moments tonight, they're just special. That's what makes the show. The show is so much about the trivia part and the interaction, but it's also about the contestants, and having great contestants makes for a great show. And I did appreciate his answer, even though I was a little stunned when I read it the first time.
You have to have a little bit of improv skills, I would say, to guest host. It's sort of like what I do here in Atlanta and other jobs I've worked as a news anchor. You have to bring on the improv skills a little bit. Is there anything you learned from your time as a contestant on Celebrity Jeopardy 6 years ago, or anything that Alex Trebek said to you in the past that helped you prepare for this role?
Well, I think it was a lot of things. Alex, I got to meet him when I was there in 2015 on the show, and then later I was having some film work done, and the people who were putting together this footage asked if Alex would sit down and do an interview, and he did about an hour interview talking about me and sports and his life. And what I just learned from that, and then talking to so many crew members who have been lifers on the set, was just how important it is to just be present. Just be present in the job and to take the time it's things that I know as a leader on the football team, but just how important those relationships are with not just the executive producer or the director, but the hair and makeup people, the security people, the parking folks, just because that's what makes the show. Just like that's what makes a team an organization. The organization isn't just an owner or a team president and a general manager and a quarterback and the top paid players. It's everybody. It's everybody from the folks selling the hot dogs to the people checking in the tickets when you walk in the stadium to the players on the field. Like that's what makes the organization. It's a family type atmosphere, and I really appreciated about Jeopardy when I came in 2015 and when I returned in 2021. And again, my focus was just to do right by the memory of Alex. And in my mind, that meant being as prepared as possible and as respectful as possible to what he accomplished. And that was easy for me because I have the utmost amount of respect for Alex and the job that he did, because he was so meaningful to me in my life, really, watching the show for so many years.
He was so meaningful to all of us. I think many people will be happy to hear that you were fighting off nerves, just like any of us would. But I think your breathing routine in helping to overcome your nerves is something we could all learn from. So can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, I just, over the years, as a player, I wanted to learn techniques that would settle me a little bit. There's certain moments in the game, whether it's starting a game or a 2-minute drive at the end of the first half or the end of the game, that are way more anxiety filled and nervy than other parts of the game. And I think that I learned this technique of box breathing. It's nothing special. It's been done for thousands of years, but it's a way to settle your heart rate, and also a reminder to breathe. I think a lot of times in nervous situations, anxiety-filled situations, we actually, gasp or hold our breath instead of breathing through those moments. And for me, it's just something I've learned to do as a player in those moments, to just inhale and pause and exhale and pause. And it really helps to slow down my thoughts, bring me back kind of into my body, more present, bring my heart rate down. And that's what I was doing behind the big board, but before every show, was just to try and relax, find that center, slow my heart rate, remind myself the little mantras I wanted to tell myself about the show, slow down, talk slowly, enunciate, eye contact, rhythm, and then just focus. So that's what really helped me, I think, throughout the 10 episodes.
All right, Aaron, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
We look
Appreciate the
forward to
questions.
watching you over the next 2 weeks.